Welcome back, everyone. I am the Depressed Hero, and this is Arkham Horror the card game with Minty Fan and Lily Chen doing the Half-Life custom campaign. Unfortunately, this is my second attempt of doing the first scenario because I unfortunately made an error, and the error was significant. So we'll go ahead and place this, move this down, and we will read the introduction again. And hopefully this time I'll remember to make a save after doing it. Wednesday, May 16th, 1923, Arkham, Massachusetts. Quiet days in Arkham are rare and welcome things. The eerie incidents common to the city have been strangely absent, and even the general air of foreboding has all but evaporated. You have taken this opportunity to refresh yourself and to prepare for future problems without something out for your blood. To make hay while the sun shines, as the saying goes, in spite of the rainy weather. Investigators must decide. Choose one. I have a few things to buy in the Merchant District. There's no shortage of happenings at the river docks. I've been meaning to visit a friend in French Hill. One of my shadier connections is at the outskirts today. It's a fine day to toss some dice in the back streets, and a visit to St. Mary's Hospital would be a wise choice. And all this will decide is where your investigator starts. And as far as I can tell, both characters can pick the same one. I'm going to pick the one that makes us start at Loop Road, which is there's no shortage of happenings at the river docks. The only reason I'm picking this is because this location is the one that screwed me over. So, I'll go ahead and read the backs of these cards, though. Display storefront. A paradox confronts you as you find a shop from halfway across the district embedded halfway into another. Looped road. The street stretches miles ahead of you, repeating the same buildings and uneven cobblestones again and again. Inverted neighborhood. Your head spins and your stomach turns as the pavement rises above your head, defying space and gravity. Disjointed avenue. The familiar street shears off suddenly, as if sutured into a different space entirely. Twisted street. Each step along the road threatens to topple you as the path warps and distorts wildly. Duplicated buildings. Two buildings stand side by side, identical down to the minor flaws and scratches in the brickwork. All right. It is just before 11 o'clock as you go about your business on this placid morning when a flash of greenish light sweeps over the city. You bolt upright and look toward the source, Miskatonic University, to find a cascade of strobing lights and sounds. Arkham around you blurs and distorts in unpredictable ways, bending and merging as if hundreds of copies of the city were suddenly overlapping. And then you see the monsters. Through rifts glowing the same unnatural green, alien creatures sift through and follow their instincts, attacking nearby citizens and wreaking havoc wherever they roam. Worse yet, each time a rift appears, the city around it breaks down and tears apart. You must take action immediately if you don't wish for Arkham, and at this rate, probably the world, to fall victim to the destruction. Without a moment to lose, you rally your nearby allies and set out for the university. All right, so the only setup here is depending on whether or not you have Yithian or Miko forces. We have Yithian. There are three agendas. Agenda 1A, Arkham Unraveling. The city has been thrown into bedlam from the inexplicable events. Portals to a strange dimension carve themselves open to deposit alien creatures, and the whole landscape shakes with sudden violence at random intervals. Just what is the cause of all this? 6 doomed to advance. There's also 3 acts, where 2, you set out on the familiar route to the university, but find that the roads suddenly bend away when they should continue onward. No matter which path you take, it keeps returning to the same roads you came by. Surely there must be a way out of this recursive tangle. 6 clues to advance. And then anomalous materials, skulls are -X, where X is the number of cards in play with the teleport keyword, which is right now 0. And we have tablets, which is -2. If you fail, you must either take 1 horror or resolve an unstable ability on your location. And then the Elder thing, which we don't have, is the same thing, but it does damage. One thing I think I forgot to talk about as far as unstable goes is it will trigger, if you do get a doom on a location and there are multiple unstable effects, you do trigger all of them and you pick the order. In the case of the tablet and the Elder thing, though, it just says do a single unstable ability. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and flip this over and just show it off. So this has 4 clues, 2 Shroud, Unstable, moves to the furthest non-elite enemy once towards Loop Road. Investigators cannot move from Loop Road unless they take a move action, victory 1. So this is the mistake I made. I did a Pathfind move from here off of it, which you can't do because you have to use move actions. So yeah, that was a mistake on my end. And it was actually kind of important because I was doing it to get away from an enemy I had evaded. So it just kind of screwed things up a lot. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I'm going to go ahead and put a break here just so I don't have to reread everything when I inevitably make another mistake. Alright, unfortunately I did make a mistake towards the end. I messed up at a crossroads, unfortunately. I drew it during my turn and removed an action from my turn, which is not how it works. It's the next actions that you reduce it by 1. And I didn't want to go through and figure out whether or not that would actually break anything or not, so I'm just going to start over. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Starting with winging it, that's good. Starting with this is good. We can probably go without the shortcut for now. And those 1 and 2. Okay, good. That's something I can work with. All right, and then over here, we need to deal to orange. All right, we'll keep this, discard the rest. Well, out of all of my mulligans and mess-ups, this is the first time where I didn't start with the Runic Axe. But that's okay, we'll make do. Kind of wish I started with my economy, though. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Let's see. Yeah, Yithian forces, we're good. Okay. So, first things first, I'm going to go ahead and spin an action. Playing Research Librarian. Search the deck for my nautical charts. Alright, next I'm going to go ahead and investigate using Burning the Midnight Oil. And I'm going to commit a deduction to this. So it's going to be 5 to 2. We pass. I get 2 resources. Get 2 of these. And then last action, I'm going to play my nautical chart. Okay. Lily Chen. I'm going to spend 4 to get out Beat Cup. I'm going to draw a card. And I will draw 1 more card. No enemies, upkeep, Mouse Mask, Stand Together, Mythos, First Doom. Hound Eye, creature, monster, 2 fight, 4 evade, 2 health, hunter retaliates. After Hound Eye attacks an investigator, it gains teleport until the teleport to square until the end of next Mythos phase. Piercing waves of sound penetrate the air as the alien creature emits its hunting cry. Hits for 1 and 1. And then over here, we get an erratic shift. Resolve the teleport keyword on each card in play as if it were the end of the round. This does not have teleport yet. So it surges. Headcrab. Place 1 Doom on Headcrab. When Headcrab engages you, you must either lose 1 action or it attacks you. I'll let it attack me. I will place 1 Doom, which is going to trigger this, but it's not going to do anything because everything is already on top of us. Creature, monster, Headcrab, 2 fight, 2 evade, 1 health, hunter. A revelation, place 1 Doom on Headcrab. Force, when Headcrab engages you, you must either lose an action or it attacks you. The squat creature is parasitic, carnivorous, and eager to latch on to head-shaped objects. You don't say. Alright, investigation phase. I'm going to go ahead and start with Lily Chen. I'm going to attack the Hound Eye. I'm 6 to 2. I do 1 damage to Minty Fan, which I will put on that. I will attack Hound Eye again. I succeed, and I will attack 1 more time. Not the best start. Alright. Go ahead and get to work here. I am going to go ahead and spend 1 to get out Mouse Mask. And then I'm going to investigate using Nautical Chart. So I'm 5 to 2. I succeed. I'm going to go ahead and discard the Winging It so I can get an extra clue. Alright, Clue gets. All right, then we're going to go ahead and move ourselves over here. All right, that is everybody. I'm going to get hit for 1 damage. Actually, you know what? As a lightning bolt, just kill this stupid thing. Since I'm going to take a damage anyway. All right. Enemy phase, no enemies, upkeep. At a crossroads, this will actually work the way it's supposed to. I'll draw 3 cards at the cost of an action. That is very helpful. All right, upkeep. Okay, got our runic axe finally. I say finally, but this is literally like round 2. All right. Head crab gets a doom on it. Oh yeah, I didn't read about the location here. Each investigator at displaced storefronts places a non-weakness card from their hand onto the bottom of the deck and then draws a card. 2 shroud, 2 clues, and when the last clue is discovered from the displaced storefronts, place 1 doom on this location. So I do get a doom here, so it does trigger unstable. I'm going to go ahead and just put burning the midnight oil on the bottom. Actually, we'll do true understanding. Puts it on the bottom and then draw a card. And then I have to choose whether or not this thing attacks me or I'll lose an action. I'll let it attack me and just kill the research librarian. And then over here, Insidious Experiments, Peril. Attach Insidious Experiments to the current agenda or current act, and then add a tablet to the bag. I'll put it on the current act. Each tablet token gains if you fail, choose and discard a card from your hand. When the game ends or Insidious Experiments leaves play, you remove the tablet from the bag. The conical 3-limbed aliens tamper with the past, present, and future without any moral computations. All right, investigation phase. I'm going to go ahead and move with Lily Chen to over here. Actually, let's start with Minty Fan. I'm going to punch a head crab. Oh, actually, no. I want to do it the other way, since I already know how this works. I want to go ahead and move over here. This location has 5 shroud, 2 clues. Each investigator at inverted neighborhood must either draw a card and lose a resource, or choose and discard a card from their hand and gain a resource. It gets -1 shroud for each card at this location with 1 or more doom on it. Victory 1. I'm going to go ahead and play a Drawn to the Flame. Unforeseen evils. You must choose. Either place 1 doom on your location. This effect may cause the current agenda to advance. In the campaign log, record 1 tally mark under consequences. Time to choose. This I did draw. Is a peril, but I did draw it. So I'm going to go ahead and just take the horror and ward this. And then I'll get the 2 clues here. And then we'll spend all 6 clues to advance. This will also get rid of the Insidious Experiments. So we can go ahead and remove that tablet. Mystery Man. At first your searches seem in vain, but amid the chaos in the city, you spot a curious sight. A man with a briefcase dressed like a government official walks calmly through the destruction, seemingly unaffected and unconcerned with any of the events. You follow him around a corner and find no trace of him, but there before you a clear path to the university. Put the set-aside Miskatonic University campus into play. Attach the set-aside The Way Through story card to the active investigator's location, which is Lily Chen. If there is no active investigator, it would be the lead investigator. So, Miskatonic University, Arkham. Can you trust this unstable path? And then here's the Way Through. As a lightning bolt, if at least 3 of the following are true, you can flip it. 4 or more damage on the act, 4 or more horror on the act, 2 or more clues on the act, 2 or more resources on the act, and 2 or more connecting Arkham locations are revealed and have no clues on them. Act 2. The straight and narrow. Despite the clear path, you're unsure how stable the route to the university is. The last thing you want is to be swept up in a distortion. With some study of the other effects of the catastrophe, you may discover how to safely traverse the path. After you defeat a monster enemy, place 1 damage on this act as a reaction. After you resolve an unstable effect as a reaction, you place 1 horror on this act. As a reaction, after a card with the teleport keyword moves from your location, you can place a clue. And then lightning bolts, discard an asset you control to put a resource down. After you flip it, you must immediately advance. All right. So, right now we have half of one done. As my last action with Lily Chen, I am going to go ahead and just gain a resource. I probably should have done the stand together first, but that's okay. Anyway, Minty Fan, I'm going to go ahead and attack using Analysis. And I'll use my ability to give it another wild symbol, so I'm now 4-2. And I kill it. Since I killed a monster enemy, I get put a damage token on the current act. Alright, next, I'm going to go ahead and investigate using Nautical Chart. And I'm going to go ahead and spend one to do Practice Makes Perfect. Yeah, that's fine. Search top 9. I will pick Deduction. So I'm currently 6-2. 1 from Nautical Chart, 1 from Deduction. And we pass. This will go into my hand. This will get discarded. And I'll get 2 clues here. Since the last clue was found on this location, it does put a doom on it, which will trigger the unstable effect, so I have to take a card and put it on the bottom, which in this case is just going to be the burning the Midnight Oil, and then I draw a card. Since I triggered an unstable effect, I do get to put a horror on the current act. Okay. And that's everything. No enemies, go to upkeep. I get out of Crossroads. I'll go ahead and draw 3 cards with it. And then upkeep here, Ever Vigilant. I might be able to do something with that. All right, Mythos. We're 4 of 6 because we placed a Doom. Temporal Instability. Attach temporal instability to any location in its sequence with an investigator if possible. Unfortunately, there are none that I can attach it to. So we'll put it down here for now. Okay. At the end of the Mythos phase, we'll add a Doom to it. I'll go ahead and do it now just to get it out of the way. And then after you resolve the teleport keyword, which happens at the end of the round, it will remove it. As an action, place one of your clues on your location to get rid of it. Over here, we got Yithian Collaborator. Monster Yithian, 2 fight, 3 evade, 3 health. Hunter, when you initiate an attack or evasion attempt against Yithian Collaborator and have 2 or fewer cards in hand, take 1 horror or you get -2 value on the skill attempt. Choose 1. Hits for 1 and 1. All right, investigation phase. I'm going to go ahead and start with Minty Fan here. I'm going to go ahead and shortcut down to here. 4 Shroud, 2 clues. After resolve the teleport keyword on a card in play as if it were the end of the round, and then destroying the avenue gets -1 Shroud value for each card at this location with the teleport keyword. So what's kind of interesting about the temporal instability is the Doom on it doesn't really matter as long as you're not drawing encounter cards during your turn, because it gets removed before the Mythos step. All right. In any case, oh yeah, I used an action because of the out of Crossroads, which I think that was all of ours, right? Yeah, we've done both now. Okay. Also, I should be getting offerings, but I'm maxed out right now, so no worries on that front. Yeah, it says replenish. All right. So with all that said and done, this has 4 Shroud, 4 clues. Okay. I will spend an action to investigate. I will use Minty Fan's ability and deduction. So it's going to be 6-4. Good to go. We got 2 clues. Okay. And then I'm going to investigate using nautical charts and Eureka. So again, 6 to 4. Be passed just barely. We did remove the tablet light. Yeah, we did. All right, so I do pass. I can resolve this in any order, so I will go ahead and search top 3 first. I'll pick this winging it. Then I'll discard this winging it to get an extra clue. All right. So really the only place that we need to clear out the clues for is Twisted Street, but obviously all these locations have victory, so I'm trying to get as much as possible and be good to go. All right. Li Chen. All right. I don't have any of my weapons out. That's a problem. Should I just punch this thing to death? Yeah, I'll spend 1 to do sweeping kick. We'll do 8 to 2. Okay, it does 2 damage. And it auto evades it. And then I'm going to go ahead and gain a resource. And then I'll spend an action doing Ever Vigilant. So I can play up to 3 assets for 1 less each. So I'll spend 3 to get out the Runic Axe, and then I'll spend 1 to get out the Holy Rosary. And I'll be good to go there. Alright, enemy phase. Nothing. Upkeep. This will re-engage. And then end of the round, this is going to move. It's going to remove the Doom. Let's see. It's going to go over to Triangle here. Since a teleport did move away, yeah, it moves from my location, it will get a clue on this. Okay, and then Mythos, we add a... So there's technically not this Doom on here right now. So there should only be... Here, I'll just remove it. Yeah, there we go. So it's 5 of 6 right now. Insidious Experiment. We will put that under the agenda and add a tablet. And then Dimensional Shudder. Discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a card with the teleport keyword is discarded. Draw that card. If no cards are drawn with this effect, it gets Surge. Nope. Yep. I'll put it on this location. Okay, so end of the Mythos phase. Doom is going to get placed on this and this. This will trigger the unstable effect here, so we'll get a Doom, a Horror here. I have to either draw a card and lose a resource, or choose a card, discard a card, and gain a resource. I'm fine with drawing a card and losing a resource. Okay. All right, so far so good. Investigation phase. Let's start with Li Chen. I'm going to go ahead and attack and do Glory. Yeah, just Glory. So 6 to 2. I kill it. This is another monster, so we get a damage on this. And I'll use this opportunity to go ahead and heal a Horror. Alright. Next, I'm going to go ahead and move down to here. Three Shroud, 4 clues. Choose an enemy at Twisted Street or a connecting location. Swap its fight and evade values until the end of the round. Max once per enemy each round. Each card played at Twisted Street with a printed cost of 2 or less gets +1 cost. Each card with a printed cost of 3 or more gets -1 cost. Okie dokie. I do have one action remaining. Unfortunately, I can't play the Drawn to the Flame because of issues. So I'm just going to use this opportunity to what do I want to do? I think I'll just gain a resource. Okay. Meanwhile, Minty Fan. I'm going to go ahead and move down to here. Unstable. Choose an investigator at duplicated buildings to shuffle an asset from their discard pile back into their deck. After an encounter card enters or attaches to duplicated buildings, or an asset enters play under the control of an investigator at duplicated buildings, if another card with the same name is already in play, place 1 Doom on that card. So this will gradually start putting Doom on these temporal instabilities, which doesn't really matter because we're going to advance anyway at the end of this round. So I'm not going to worry too much about it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and investigate. I'm going to use nautical charts. I'm going to spend 1 to do practice makes perfect. Search top 9. Is this actually a whiff? It is a whiff. We whiffed it. All right, well, we're 5 to 4. I'll use a mouse mask to make it 7 to 4. We pass. I am going to go ahead and discard this empirical hypothesis to get 2 clues. And then I will move. All right. Enemy phase, no enemies. Upkeep. All right. So end of the round, these dooms are going to get removed. And I get to resolve these in any order I want. And both of them go to here. So we did have a... I can trigger this twice, so it's going to get 2 clues on it. We only need 2 to begin with, so it's fine. It goes to here and here. We're good to go on that front. Go ahead and remove the... actually, it's going to add a doom to it and all that good stuff. I'm not going to worry about it because it's just going to get removed anyway. And then, yeah, we'll go ahead and advance. This will get removed. This will get removed. This will get removed. And this will flip. Translocation. Another bright green flash of light sweeps out from the university. You close your eyes to protect against the blinding burst, and when you open your eyes again, you are not where you stood a moment ago. Each investigator moves once towards the nearest location with a card with the teleport keyword. If there are no cards in play with the teleport keyword, ignore this effect. Okie dokie. Oh, yeah, that's fine. And then, so we both move here. Because there's teleports. Alien evasion. Alien creatures surge through the portals in greater numbers, but some are out of place among the others. While the majority act like wild beasts, acting with feral instinct alone, the others lurk in the background, observing the strange events and acting subtly with artificial tools in hand. There's something deliberate and threatening behind their presence here. Okay. Mythos. Unforeseen evils. So if I do that now, I'll take 1 point of consequences. Actually, you know what? Screw it. Put a doom on here. Choose an investigator at duplicated buildings to shuffle an asset from the discard pile back into their deck. Do you have any assets? You do not. Oh, actually you do. You have a beat cop. What about you? You technically do as well, but I think I'm going to pick the beat cop. Get shuffled back into the deck. And since this triggered a unstable effect, we do get a horror on the card. Okay, so that's resolved. Next, Alien Distortion. Attached to the nearest location with one or more clues on it. If you cannot resolve it, when a card with the teleport keyword enters this location, you place one doom on it. As a reaction, after you successfully investigate instead of getting a clue, you can discard it. I don't have a choice here. It has to be placed here. Okay. Then Doom's going to get placed on this. It's going to get placed onto this card and this card, which is going to trigger the unstable effect twice. We'll put Empirical Hypothesis back into the deck. And I don't think I have any other asset. Oh, actually I do. I have one more. Okay, so that's going to trigger this 2 more times. So we're good to go on horror. All right. Okie dokie. So at this point, we don't really need to worry about the temporal instabilities anymore. In fact, we're better off getting rid of them. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start with Minty Fan. I'm going to go ahead and move her. Actually, no, I'm going to start with Lily Chen. I'll spend an action doing Stand Together. And we don't really have a way of getting rid of this anyway. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and move to here. And then I'm going to spend 1, because I have to do Drawn to the Flame. And spawn this asshole. Okay. So, Yithian a Supervisor, 3 fight to evade 4 health. Monster Yithian, alert. Spawns in any location empty if possible. Okay, has to be an empty location. Technically this is attached, so it's going to have to go here. Reduce the modifier of each tablet token revealed by 1, so it becomes -3. And then after a skull or cultist is revealed at any location, that treat it as a tablet instead. Victory 1 hits for 1 damage and 2 horror. Okay, I can live with that. Okie dokie. In the meantime, I'll have okay, that's all fine. Okay. We'll go ahead and have Minty Fan go next. She's going to move. Oh, also this gets resolved, so we get 2 clues. I'm going to go ahead and move here, and I'm going to go ahead and investigate with nautical charts. This will put us at 5-3. I am going to go ahead and use Mouse Mask to make it 7-3. We succeed. I am going to go ahead and discard a True Understanding to get 2 clues. And I am going to go ahead and investigate one more time just because I can. 4-3. Lily Chen's going to commit this Defiance. I'll give it an extra symbol, and she's going to pick Tablet. Alright, we pass. Instead of getting a clue, I'm just going to get rid of this. Alright. Enemy phase, that enemy doesn't move. Upkeep. Self-destructive. Alright, these things are going to move. This one's going to move to Diamond. Technically, this will still trigger even if we're not there. And this will go to here. And this will make it resolve the teleport keyword on a card in play as if it were the end of the round. Alright, I'm just going to have it go here then. Okay. And technically that triggers that. Okay. So Mythos, technically we're just one, we're 2 of 6. Get a monster Yithian, and another monster Yithian. Great. They're coming out of the woodwork. Alright, so that's annoying. And then Doom's going to get placed on all of these. I'm going to have this will trigger again. And I'll have it move to triangle, which will be here. And then this will trigger. It has to be enemy at Twisted Street or a connecting location. I'll just pick the Yithian Technician. After resolving the patrol keyword, if they're... Okay, it's after the patrol keyword, so we're okay on that front. Okie dokie, jeez. One thing after the other. Alright. Just seeing what my options are. So we're kind of getting swarmed here, which is not great. I'll spend 2 actions to go ahead and get rid of self-destructive. And then I'm going to punch the Yithian Collaborator. I'm going to go power, so I'll be 6-2. We pass, it does 2 damage. And then for Min, I'm going to go ahead and punch this thing. We're right now 2-2. We'll commit this Enchanted Blade. And I'll have Min add a symbol to it. So it's going to be 4-2. And we'll go 5-2. Kills it. Which is going to do this. All right. So this thing's going to end up going back to here and causing problems. I'm going to go ahead and place a clue back on this location to get rid of this one. And then I'm going to spend an action to investigate here. We'll go nautical charts, so it'll be 5-3. If we succeed, we get the clue back. Okie dokie. Enemy phase, patrol. This is going to trigger. It's going to go up to here and get a Doom on it. And then trigger this, which no one's here, so it doesn't matter. But it does trigger this. All right. And then upkeep. Mythos. Technically we're 4 to whatever, but that's okay. Swarming parasites. I have to spawn a head crab. We'll grab it from here. Head crab. Spawns here, gets a Doom. I get to flip things, I don't care. But I will get attacked. I will let myself get attacked for 1. Dimensional Shudder, discard cards from the top of the counter card thing until teleport. Nope. 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 Gains teleport. Doesn't have it, though, at the start. Bull Squid, teleports. Any symbol in its teleport sequence with an investigator if possible. While Bull Squid is not at a location in its teleport sequence, it gains Retaliate. The squid-like predator is aggressive and territorial, ripping any living thing near it to shreds. 3 fight, 2 evade, 3 health. Has hits for 2 damage. All right. This can go on triangle, so I'll have it engage on you. Okay. Investigation phase. I just want to get out of here. All right, I'm going to start by attacking the head crab. Actually, no. Oh, also, I needed to move this thing. This thing needed to move to this location. That would have been after the patrol stuff because it's at the end of round. And then Doom gets placed on it, which will, of course, make this tick up again. Okay. So right now, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, as long as we kill some of these things, it should be okay. All right. God, never a dull moment. Okay. It's a little... All right. I'm going to have Minty Fan go first. I'll attack the head crab. Lily Chen's going to commit a defiance, and I'll use the ability to get an extra wild out of it, so it'll be 4-2. I pick tablets. Kills this. All right, we definitely have 4 of the requirements now. All right, next I'm going to move. This thing is aloof, so it doesn't do anything to me. I am going to go ahead and spin 2 to get out Medical Student to heal for 1 and 1. And just because I can, I'm going to go ahead and Lightning Bolt, discard an asset I control to get a resource on this act, and I'll just do that twice. Since it's been held anyway. I'm going to get rid of the Mouse Mask, and I'm going to get rid of the Medical Student. Alright, and then with that, I think I'm ready to flip. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this. So I have 4 damage on the act. I have 10 horror on the act. I have at least 3 clues on the act. I stopped keeping track of that. 2 resources in the act, and to the 2 connecting locations have no clues on them. So all of them, I have all 5. All right, after it flips, you must immediately advance. So I'll resolve the flip first. The attached location is connected to Miskatonic University campus and vice versa. So I'll just put that there. The direction arrow tokens are no longer around, it looks like, so I don't know where they are. Actually, I think, are they one of these? Nope. Yeah, I don't know what happened to them. They used to be around. Well, in any case, this is connected now. So connected, vice versa. If 4 or more of the listed location items were true when you flip this card, then for the remainder of the scenario, the attached location gains lightning bolts during your turn. Move to Miskatonic University. Limit once per turn. If each of the 5 listed items were true when you flip this card, for the remainder of the scenario, Miskatonic University campus is no longer, it loses its unstable ability, which is great. Also, I moved the wrong person. It was supposed to be it's supposed to be Minty Fan. I'll go ahead and flip this over. Well, that should be okay. Back to school. With some patience and practice, you learn the flow of distortions and the stability of the surrounding area, and can traverse the paths to the university between them. Advanced theory. As you approach the campus, you see that the distortions are sweeping out from the science building. Whatever the cause is, it will likely not be as easy to solve as throwing a switch. Add the Miskatonic University symbol to the beginning of each teleport sequence, and if each surviving investigator is at Miskatonic University and has no clues on it, you advance. All right, I'm going to go ahead and Lightning Bolt, move Minty Fan to here. The chaos sweeps out from rotating devices and odd crystal, and an odd crystal. 4 Shroud, 8 clues. It doesn't have unstable, but if it did, every time it triggered, it would have moved you from this location. Action, place 1 Doom on a card at Miskatonic University. Discover 2 clues from Miskatonic University campus. This effect can cause the current agenda to advance. Okay. So yeah, it's going to be pretty easy to get all these clues off here because of we just put a bunch of Doom down and go to town. Anyway, With all that said and done, I'm going to go with Lily Chen next. Lily Chen, I'm going to go ahead and do power first. So I'm 6-3. I do 2 damage. Next, I'm going to do Glory. 6-3. It dies. And I technically, well, I don't need to worry about adding things anymore. I'm going to go ahead and heal a damage. And then I'm going to, I think I'm just going to draw a card. Okay. Enemy phase. The patrol thing's going to make this go down this way because teleport's over here. And then upkeep. Upkeep. Mythos. Oh, actually, first this will move. It's going to go to green diamond, which is here. This will trigger, but no one's at that location. All right. Then it'll go Mythos. Technically, we're going to be 5 of 6 because this gets removed when it moves. Draw a card. All right. It's going to be right here, aloof. That's fine. Barnacle, attached to a location, any location in its sequence. We'll put it here. All right, investigation. Let's get to work. So we still need to kill the youth and supervisor. That needs to happen. This is going to teleport to there next. Okay, that works. All right. I need to kill the supervisor. So let's just do that. I'm going to go ahead and move. Get to here, get engaged. And then I'm going to fight using power. 6-3. Good to go. Power again. And sure, I'll do Glory. Kills it. I'll heal a horror. Kill this. This goes away. So now tablets are -2 again. Okay. Oh yeah, Doom gets added back to this, which is fine. Yeah, I already did it. Okay. Menti fan. So at this point, I'll go ahead and what's the strat of this location? 5? Oh god. All right. Let's go ahead and just investigate with nautical chart. We'll go 5-4. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do the barnacle effect because I'm adjacent to it. I'm going to commit empirical hypothesis and true understanding and use my ability. So that's going to make it 7-5. We pass just barely. This gets removed, and I do get a clue from this location. And then I'm going to draw a card. All right, that is everybody. Enemy phase, patrols. We'll have you go this way. Resolve the teleport keyword on a card in play as if it were the end of the round. That'll be this one. And then this one's going to move down and get a Doom on it. Technically, this gets removed. All right. Doesn't really matter because we're definitely 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're going to end up advancing regardless. All right. Upkeep. Upkeep. And then this will trigger again. It's going to go to here. And then Mythos. Get rid of all this extra doom. And we advance. All right. Controlled variables. The alien agents spread throughout the city have shifted their focus to you and your allies. Whatever you've been doing seems to run counter to their plans, and they are working to eliminate your interference. After this agenda advances, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a scheme, treachery, and resolve its revelation effect. Shuffle the encounter deck if it was searched. What is a scheme? That'll be insidious experiments. We'll resolve insidious experiments then, which will add another tablet token. All right. Increasing frequency. The pulses from the university amplify in their intensity as the period between them shortens. Whatever lies in the university, you must deal with it before all of Arkham is destroyed in its wake. 6 doom to advance. Discard cards from the top of the cards. Still teleport. I don't think I have any teleport. Oh, we do have a teleport. We will put it on diamond. All right, and then for you, each investigator at your location takes 1 damage or horror for each unstable and/or teleport effect on a scenario card at that location. Only 1 unstable effect, so I'll just take 1 horror, and that's it. All right, investigation phase. All right, so at this point, we just need to get all the clues off this thing. And just get out of here. We've gotten everything we need. This has been more chaotic than I expected. I'm going to move Lily Chen, and then I'm going to lightning bolt move to here. And then I'm going to go ahead and put 2 doom. Also, technically, a doom gets placed on this. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'll place 2 doom on it. And get 4 clues. And then for Minty Fan, I'm going to do the same thing, and I believe that won't advance. Yeah, I'll be just 1 short. Yep, I'll be at 5. I'll be 5 of 6, but I don't have to do any tests for it, so it works out perfectly. Get all the clues. We're all at Miskatonic University, and that means we advance. Failsafe. You pick through the destruction inside the science building as quickly and safely as possible. The corpses of staff members lie scattered about, unfortunately leaving no survivors to give you any hints on to what went on here. Shutting down the machine improbably could be even more catastrophic, but what else can be done? As you rack your brain for solutions, the strange man briefly appears once again, straightening his tie and walking through one of the portals. One that seems far more stable than the others. Surely he must know what goes on here, and possibly a way to reverse it. You steel your nerves and charge to the portal after him. Also, just FYI, since I had all 5 of the all 5 listed items, I didn't have to worry about the unstable effect here. Okay. Good stuff. All right. So, resolution 2. Also, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this and get rid of the tablet before I forget. All right. Resolution 2. The sensation of traveling through the portal is just as alien as everything else in Arkham. At once, the sounds of chaos dull, but the atmosphere shifts to something vast and unfamiliar. Where has the portal led? Resolution 3. As The view shifts, an alien landscape greets your eyes, though landscape is perhaps not the right term. A vast void stretches in all directions before you, vibrant and swirling like a deep space nebula. Islands of porous rock lie scattered throughout the region, somehow suspended in midair, and each hosting clusters of strange flora. The alien creatures that invaded Arkham dart to and fro, leading you to a single conclusion: this is their world. You have been transported through who knows how many millions of miles, if you are even in the same dimension at all anymore. As you cope with the overwhelming turn of events, you catch a glimpse once more of a distant island of the strange man with the briefcase. Everywhere that there has been a way forward, everywhere that there has been a way forward, he has appeared, however briefly. If anything can be done to reverse the damage to Arkham, he will surely guide you toward it. You set out without delay across the alien realm. Each investigator gets victory X. So our victory is 7. So Minty Fan is going to get 7, and Lily Chen's going to get 8 because of the great work. We'll go ahead and spend the XP now. Give me 1 moment. All right, Minty Fan has 7 experience, and my God, there's a lot of things you can buy for that. So I'm going to replace both True Understandings with Unrelentings, which are practiced. She does get 0 to 2 splash of Survivor. I don't know if this is the first time we've played with Unrelenting, but it's really, really good. It commits for 1 wild, and when you commit it, you search for 3 non-auto-fail tokens of your choice and seal them. And if you choose pretty much all the positive icons, so +1, 0, Bless, or the Elder Sign, you also draw 2 cards immediately. Now, one thing to note is you draw 2 cards after resolving the commits card step. So you can't just seal the cards, then draw 2 cards, and then commit those cards. You can't do that. But essentially with this, you can just draw tons of cards. It's really, really strong. This is also a card that Amanda can get to essentially draw her entire deck. It's very, 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 very good. And it's practiced, like I said. All right, so that's 2 experience for both of those. And then I'm going to spend 2 experience to get Sharp Vision. And I'll replace my Research Library and Mouse Mask. As you probably noticed, I didn't really use the Mouse Mask much, and it was just a placeholder. Research Librarian is kind of the same situation. It was there for the early game, but since now I have so much card draw, I don't really need to rely on it as much. And also, after I get my tome, I don't really need it because playing it will just make me draw my weakness. But yeah, Sharp Vision, we've seen this before. It's just a way to get additional clues, and it can count as 3 symbols, which is really good for dealing with the weakness. So that's 4 experience there for all those 4 of those cards. I'm going to replace one of my shortcuts with a deduction, which is going to give us just a better deduction. And then, of course, I'm going to replace 1 Burning the Midnight Oil for Survey the Area. As you probably noticed, I don't really need to spend that much money on this character. I don't have that many assets to play, and the only event that costs me money is the Practice Makes Perfect. But Survey the Area, of course, we're familiar with that card's practice, and can be used for both book or foot test, which is really, really useful. So yeah, this will make it so she can evade at 6 or 7 with her ability, which will be very useful if she ever needs to evade in a pinch. So yeah, that's how things are looking for that. Wait, sorry, why did I replace? Okay, I drew the wrong card. Sorry, I'm not replacing shortcut with deduction too. That doesn't make any sense. Sorry, it was supposed to be deduction level 0. There you go. Yeah, I was like, why am I getting rid of my shortcuts? All right. Sorry. So yeah, not getting rid of the shortcut. Instead, it's deduction to level 0 is being upgraded to level 2. There you go. All of these. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 experience. I could have possibly bought one of my 2. I can't remember what it's called. The thing that replaced my Deep Knowledge with. That lets me draw 3 more cards, but I'd rather just get all these skill cards done as soon as possible just so I can make use of it. I definitely wanted more practice cards so I don't whiff on the Practice Makes Perfect again. Anyway, that was 7 experience. Lily Chen has 8 experience. I'm going to spend 7 of it to stick to the plan because it costs 1 extra because of Down the Rabbit Hole. I'm then going to spend 1 experience because of Down the Rabbit Hole to upgrade one of the Beat Cops to level 2. So that's 8 experience right there. And then the last point, from Down the Rabbit Hole, I'm going to use to get Elders on the Runic Axe. I know Hunt's really, really good, but I like being able to get clues while beating up things. And Elders also makes it so I have a use for the overpowers I have in my deck, because right now I have such a high attack, it doesn't really matter in most cases. So yeah, hopefully we'll be kind of good to go from here on. Hopefully things will be a bit more stable too. But yeah, with the sixth plan out of the way, everything else should fall into place a lot more quickly. Obviously, we'll need to upgrade our other beat cop, start getting this up and running, and of course get our stand togethers to level 3 as soon as possible so we can help both herself and Minty Fan. Alright, so with all that said and done, we're going to be going to Scenario 2, A World Apart, next time. So, yep, we're already in another world. So, I am The Depressed Eeyore. This was Arkham War the card game, doing Half-Life custom scenario with Minty Fan and Lily Chen. As always, apologies for any mistakes I made during this. I am actually feeling a little feverish, so I kind of blame that for all the mistakes I made. It was also a little frustrating to start over twice, but hopefully things will get a little bit calmer in the future. So, see you guys next time.